While a lot of fun stuff happened during my medical journey, today I wanted to discuss the main one and how I overcome my depression. Hello, my name is Dr. Anastasia Anisimova, and welcome to my channel. Let's begin my story. It hit me during my second year, right before step 1 exam. At first, it felt like it came out of nowhere, but looking back, I realized there were signs which I ignored because of school pressure and fear of falling behind. I felt overwhelmed, cried for no reason, and my body ached even on rest days. But I didn't let it beat me. I'm here to share my story today and how I overcame it. Hope it might help someone else going through the same thing. As I mentioned earlier, I went to medical school in a foreign country, which meant I was away from my family for a pretty long time. And let me tell you, it was tough. I tried to stay strong, but it definitely took an emotional toll on me. And then, to make matter worse, I had a huge problem when I tried to return home after my first semester. I had a travel document that expired while I was in Grenada, not on my fault, and I couldn't get back home without it. I tried to apply for a new one, but I needed to be physically present in the United States, which was impossible for me with my expired documents, and it was a real cage. I was in a tough spot, and my only option was to head to US Embassy in the Dominican Republic. I was hoping for a quick fix, to see my family soon, but the life had other plans. Unfortunately, I was denied the entry to the Dominican Republic, even with an official request from the US ambassador. Eventually, I ended up spending 5 long days and nights in an international detention room with barely food and water. And to top it all off, a nationwide COVID-19 lockdown pandemic didn't help. And it was like the final nail on the coffin, which brought me into that position. My symptoms started very gradually. I started feeling super tired all the time, and I just couldn't shake it off. I lost interest in school, which was weird for me because I used to love it. And the worst part was all I wanted to do is sleep and nothing else. My boyfriend noticed that something was off and talked to me about it. Deep down, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't want to admit it to myself. It got worse over time, and I just felt like I was stuck. I finally realized that I needed to do something about it, or I might not be able to get out of it anytime soon. Unfortunately, I was diagnosed with depression, and I felt weak, alone. I thought that I was going through this without help. I was very ashamed to talk about it, to share what I feel, because as you probably know that all medical students in medical school, they are perfectionists. And majority of the time we are comparing ourselves to the others. And when something has happened to you on a personal level and you start falling behind, it's very difficult to accept that you have problems. At some point, I even blamed myself for getting sick. But then I realized that it wasn't my fault and that I needed help. So I started taking actions. Yes, I went on antidepressants, but I combined it with a mindful work of yoga, journaling, and meditation. It was a game changer for me, and there was nothing wrong about seeking for help. As a medical student or a doctors, we often feel like we need to be perfect. But the truth is, we're also human beings, and we also deserve to take care of our health and ask for help when we need it. So don't be afraid if you're struggling. You got this. And ask for help. There's nothing to be ashamed of it. The only thing I wanted to highlight that antidepressants aren't the magic solution that will fix everything overnight, but they can be a really important part of the recovery process. And there is a lot of other things that you can do to help yourself feel better too. One thing that really helped me, as I mentioned before, It's journaling, meditation, and yoga. And combination of only all of this together will help you. To be very honest with you, at first it was very hard for me to sit still and focus during the meditation. But it was a practice. I learned how to calm my mind and concentrate on what was bothering me. It's been a game changer for me, and I still do this every day. Another thing is emotions. You have to write down your emotions every single day, no matter what you feel. Because we can experience sadness, we can experience happiness, we can experience regret, and all variety other emotions from the wheel of the emotions. You have to recognize them, live through them with it, and accept it. I just want to say that you're not alone in this. Don't be afraid to reach out for help, whether it's to your loved one, close friend, or even me. I'm here to support you. Remember, working on yourself takes time and effort, but it will be worth it. The only another thing is antidepressant can be a very helpful tool, but they are not a magical solution. You still have to work on yourself. You have to understand yourself and your body. And hey, if you ever need someone to talk about it and you feel that you're stuck, reach out. With love, Dr. Anisimova.